Hi all, so welcome to this channel, and in this video session I'll discuss a very interesting topic which is actually a problem which we face when we are converting any DDS to DDL. So that is a format level identifier. So when we change DDS to DDL, sometimes it happens that format level identifiers change in IBM AS400. So what happens in that case? So format when once the format level identifier gets changed, we all the programs which are based upon that PF or that are using that program, so they have stored some format level ID which is earlier with the programs. So once this changed, and if we do not recompile those programs, then what happens? Level check error occurs once that those programs are called, if the level check parameter is styles. So in that case, let's say the system is huge and we need to recompile all the system programs again just for converting DDS to DDL, then that's a headache for us, so we don't go for that. So what we'll do, we will have some alternative approach for this, so that recompilations would be saved, that is no recompilation happened. A few recompilations could be happened just to let the things works, because sometimes there is no matching data types found for the DD data types. So in that case this could be happened, and sometimes, like, um, let's say if you are adding any column to the table when converting that DDS to the DDL. So what we will be doing, we'll be adding new columns to the table, and we'll keep a surrogate LF. So in this case, that PF, original PF, gets converted to the LF, so that's called a surrogate LF, which serves as a purpose, like all the existing programs do not need recompilation, just we have a surrogate LF on the existing, which preserves the existing or the old structure, so that they are allowed, they are still running fine. And that's called the surrogate LF concept, so that we can have a surrogate LF in place, and can save the recompilation of all the system programs. So let me show you how we can achieve this. Work member PDM. So let's have these two DDS. So this is our DDS9, and we have these two fields with a column heading and text field, and just compile this and compile this too. So this is pointing to the DDS9, and let's have key field as key field 1 only. So just see what the level identifier is. So format level identifier for DDS9 is this. LF1 is this. So we have the same format level identifier for these two files. Okay, now what we'll be doing is, let's convert this table to the from DDS to DDL. So uh, let's have this table name changed. So in that case, it's, let's say it's DDL 12. So we have DDL 12. So we have long name and short name of the column and the table as well. So for now, I'll be showing you. For now, run SQL stm on DDL 12. So for now, you can see once I converted this DDS to DDL, the format level identifier is not get changed. But let's suppose if it gets changed. So what I would do to change this, because we have the data types which are supported um, um, in DDS versus UDL, so we have converted those only. So that's why we are getting the same format level identifier. So let's say I'm adding one more field, let's say field 3, and I'm adding the decimal field. But let's say there was some identity columns gets added, or the audit columns get added to this, or any other column gets added to this. Let's do this thing as well. So let's drop that table. So I can use drop table from SQL, or I can simply delete the object. Just check what the error is. Okay, field 3 is not valid. Just drop the table first. Just put the comma and now compile it again. Now just check the format level ID. So you can see now it's changed. Now if I want that I added only one column to this table, and the format level identifier of this table gets changed, and we have several other many of the programs which are dependent upon this, and I don't want to recompile that program. So what I'll do, I'll preserve the structure of the original DDS in the form of a surrogate LF. So what I'll be doing, I have now my DDL, so I'll be adding new columns to the DDL, and that won't affect the surrogate LF. So we have this DDL thing. So the original PF is converted to the LF. So what we will do is, we have these two things, one PF and one LF. So let's delete these objects. First delete LF, then PF. So now this PF would become the LF. So that's called the surrogate LF thing. And we need to use the P file keyword, and it will point to the DDL 12. Now if I would see DSP FD of DDS 9, as you can see, it is based upon the DDL 12 and it's an LF. And now what you can see is its record format ID is 2464 0B3947344. So it means that we have achieved what we want. Now we have DDS9 table. Since we have converted that table to the that DDS to the table, but even after that we have a surrogate LF with the same name, but that's converted to LF. And now you can see we have only two fields here. We do not have all the fields from the table. That is field 3 as well. So if I keep that, then surely the level identifier got changed. So now I have those two fields which I have earlier in the form of LF. And what I'll do with this one, now since this was earlier an LF and this is still an LF, but the pointing gets changed, so the pointing would get changed to the DDL 12. But let me tell you one more thing. Let me compile this first, so that you can see once I do DSP FD, you can see the format label identifier is changed for this LF2. So in case if you have used this LF on many places in your system, in your application programs, what happened, this caused for the recompilation because the format identifier was changed. So what I will do, I would be using the format keyword. Format keyword is just used to preserve to reference the table called format, which is earlier, that is the old one, or you can say the original PF So that's now converted to the LF. So format can have the PF or an LF entry. So DDS9, which is an LF here. So now it is pointing to the format of DDS9. So that has two field only. Now let's compile this. And let's check the format level identifier. Now you'll find that the format level identifier is same as it was earlier. So this way we achieved the thing which we want, that we preserve the structure or we preserve the original level identifier of the file, so that our programs do not need to be recompiled. So that's what the aim here is. That's what the aim of this video here is. When converting DDS to DDL results in format level identifier changed in IBM AS400. So what are those approaches which we can go for? So the first and the simple approach is to recompile all the programs. But if I do not want to recompile, then I have another approach of surrogate LF concept which I can use to make sure that the level identifier for the existing files won't get changed, and it won't ask us to recompile all the programs which are using those files or LFs. So that's all in this video. Thank you and have